Hi, good afternoon. My name is Craig Goff. I will be completing my practical for the Cluster 8, which is submitted in partial fulfillment for the NCT VET Level 4 Competency Certification for Business Administration. Now, I will be engaging as the newly appointed records supervisor with the company Dynamic Records. My meeting takes place today, July 1, with our records and information manager, Miss Monica Brown. And this is our presentation on enhancing records management, security, and centralization. Let's begin. Right. So Miss Brown, as the newly appointed record supervisor, I did take the time to assess our current record management level, and I have to say that based on what I am seeing, our records are not secure, nor are they confidential. Our systems are a little bit outdated and inefficient based on some gaps that I have observed. And truly, the goal that I am projecting from this is to present solutions and the advantages of a centralized system to improve our records management and increase our competencies and our legal capabilities. So I want to go through. I know I'm just preaching to the choir here, Miss Brown, but please bear with me. I wanted to go through with first describing records management. Record management is the systematic control of records throughout their life cycle, from creation or receipt to disposition or destruction. Simply, what we do is managing the life cycle, managing documents, managing data. The reason for a record manage or what a record management system is a software solution designed to manage and organize an organization's records throughout their life cycle, again from creation to disposal. Now, a brief background again on the company because we are Dynamic Records LLC, established in 1985. Our company is a leading provider of inventory management softwares, operating in 3 regions with over 200 employees committed to operational excellence, innovation, and compliance. And based on that, we have to maintain high standards in governance, information security, and customer service. These have to be done. We have to be able to maintain these at every level. Um, and as a supervisor for the department, I just wanted to ensure that our goals are aligned. So basically, this is what I see as the roles of the or department to oversee the creation, storage, retrieval, and disposal of all company records, ensure compliance with legal and regulatory as well as policy requirements, plays a critical role in data security, business continuity, and information governance, and to support departments in managing their records securely and efficiently. I hope I have covered the roles of our department well, Miss Brown. Right. So the procedures that we are looking at to ensure secure records are secure and confidential. One of these procedures is access control, limited authorized personnel with passwords or IDs. Now, in certain areas, we can put up keypad locks, we can put up fingerprint scanners to ensure that only persons with access to the records department, senior managers or members of the department are able to access, and no one can enter just willy-nilly. We need to ensure that our storage lockers are our secure storage. So the cabinets must be locked, and we have to have encrypted servers if they're digital. We can utilize either the local based or the cloud based. And we need to train and educate our staff on confidentiality protocols. We need to ensure that they know what the policies are, what the procedures are, and how to follow them efficiently, how to secure your information when you're presenting. We need to audit for regular checks for compliance and gaps. So we need to check that the other departments to ensure that they are securing their records. Once we need to ensure that they're maintaining our clear desk policy, as well as our policies, our steps and guidelines for how to share information. And then the disposal. I believe that the records department in every company should be the one who manages or rather executes the disposal or oversees the disposal. So we need to ensure confidential shredding or certified data destruction through the relevant means after the authorizations are given. Now, a few of the disadvantages of a centralized system, it's the inconsistency, multiple formats, filing standards. Basically speaking, as well as security gaps from more locations and higher breach. To give you just a synopsis of what I'm seeing in terms of our decentralized system, we there are multiple formats, meaning everyone is just putting in information in any way that they deem fit, and that is not conducive for us to be able to file the information properly to index it, to store it, as well as if you need to find something you don't know under what heading. So we need to have one clear guideline to say this is how we file, this is where we file, this is what we file, and we need to have this in one location, be that the digital platform and our physical record space, to ensure that we're not all over the place. We can't have multiple locations because that increases the risk for data breach with multiple persons entering the locations, as well as multiple persons going through all of this information. So we need to restrict the access to the info to the locations. An advantage of the centralized system is the secure and easy to monitor and protect, as well as efficient, faster access, which reduces duplication. Meaning, if we have one, it's flowing through one or one department, one team, that team will be able to vet the information. Yeah, easy. They'll be able to have full overview of all the information that they have on hand. They will be able to see what is necessary, what can be done, what areas they can tweak to improve the information. So we have one area and it reduces the duplication of efforts, duplication of work. So you don't have multiple persons entering the same data into the system. You just have one person. So we'll say, okay, myself will enter information regarding the finance department as I am a supervisor, and those are confidential information. And then we have our junior staff who enters for grounds maintenance, operational things that are not as confidential as HR and finance information. The purpose of management for the centralization, the digital archive unified, cloud-based, or on-premises. So utilizing Google Drives, we can utilize OneDrive from Microsoft as we are utilizing Microsoft Teams as well. We can utilize through SAP the DMS, the document management system, to store and manage our information. So the management software, it's automate retention, search, and security, so we can limit access. So we can say, okay, each user profile will receive their specific access to documents. So even if you go in and you don't have access to finance documents and you try to search for finance documents, nothing will come up on your screen. Right? So utilizing SAP's DMS can definitely improve this, as well as the central team records management unit will have full oversight. So the team will be able to help train, coach, guide personnel on the floor in order to gain access to the drive, create their profiles, as well as monitor the information. And then we set up the approvals in the system to say if you want to download a document, you have to be approved. If you need to upload a document, you need to be approved. You need to make changes. Approvals have to go through the relevant guidelines. Now, I have to touch on data protection in Jamaica because we are operating in Jamaica, and the Data Protection Act of 2020 governs the use of personal data in Jamaica. And because we're such a large company that operates with massive amounts of customers as well as its staff, employee data, we are governed under this, and we have to make the necessary steps to protect the data of our team. One such is we have to obtain consent before processing personal data. We have to secure against unauthorized access, and that is why I had to make this presentation today because there were certain breaches that we have to correct, and we have to allow individuals to access and correct their data. Right? We have to also look at the legal implications for non-compliance with this act. because some of certain of our areas did leave gaps which we have to tighten up on, as mentioned before. We have fines up to $4 million and imprisoned for 10 years, legal actions and reputational damage, and enforcement by the Office of the Information Commissioner. We need to be able to say that we are compliant because that builds our reputation and builds trust in our stakeholders and our customers and consumers. So just to conclude, the centralization improves security, access, and compliance. It prevents data loss and legal issues, and it's the recommended that we move forward with a centralized strategy so that we prevent any further data breach or any potential data breach, and we're able to close all the gaps that I am seeing. Okay. Any questions for me, Miss Brown, before you go? All right. Thank you very much for your time, and let's just get this perfect.